Yay! That was Megan Webb, everybody. Megan Webb. At least half of the dildo. I made a note of that. It's a story prompt for me later. Are you ready for your fifth story of the evening? Damn right you are. This one is called 1,000 Feet High and Shaking. It's written by Astrid Lange, and it will be read by Jason Ahas. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Ahas, come on up.
If you have severe emetophobia, like enough that you know that word immediately, this is not a story for you. So, it's not every day that you get to spew vomit from 1,000 feet high in the air. Y'all, I had the opportunity just 3 months ago in the most glamorous place, Rio de Janeiro. My head is lolling back and forth as we swoop violently up, back, sideways, down, repeat, like the Texas tornado ride in free fall. The paraglider strapped to my back, Junior, is bolt upright with a giant grin, shouting energetically at the 360-degree camera on the selfie stick as we swoop madly over the whirling ground below. My new colleagues, Priscilla and Raphael, sent me the video from that, and it is as ridiculous as it sounds. I am slumped in the seat, like someone who's been binge-watching Netflix on the couch for a week. You know, I came to Brazil because I didn't want to work a full-time job in Houston. Working in HISD during COVID burned that out of me, and the graduate degree program I ran to afterwards had just finished. I was afraid of being swallowed under a mountain of student debt, trafficy commutes, and never-ending overtime, probably back in HISD under Mike Miles. So I applied for and somehow got a 10-month assignment in Brazil as a university English teacher and U.S. cultural representative through the English Language Fellows Program, indirectly affiliated with the U.S. State Department. To choose the anxiety and turmoil of moving to another continent where I don't know the language or anyone else, while doing a new job instead of anything I'm qualified to do in Houston, may indicate to you some of the avoidance and insecurity I face daily. Some people call it a sense of adventure. In any case, here I am, 8 weeks in. Parque de Cidade means city park. It is an underwhelming name for a mountain with a panoramic view of all of Rio de Janeiro, Guanabara Bay, and the Atlantic Ocean beaches. Paragliding from a height of 270 meters is offered by random freelancers, because, like everything in Brazil, everything is amped up to the next level of surreality. It's also a 15-minute Uber ride from where I now live. Total immersion into anything new brings culture shock. We all get it with abrupt transitions in life, and the stages range from honeymoon to anger, despair, resignation, and acceptance. I have a sneaking suspicion that I am dipping into the anger and despair phase. It crosses my mind, standing there, staring across forever, that I chose to do this instead of what? Being a normal, responsible adult? Why can't I just do that? I also have vertigo, and haven't eaten lunch, and the bathrooms at the top of the mountain are closed, and I don't speak Portuguese, and where are all the people I left behind in Texas? Now, a happily ever after story has me equating running off the ramp into the air with this journey into the unknown, embracing fear, and having an epiphany of bliss on the way down. That's not what happens. What happened was Priscilla's husband Raphael was first. His glide went smoothly, sunny, light breeze, whooping with excitement. I was next, but it takes an hour for them to come back up to where we were. And in that hour, my stomach hurts more, I have to pee more, and, more importantly, the sun dims and the wind changes. I know the run and jump will be my most anxious point. Cool, I'll let myself feel that then. In the meantime, when Junior counts Lista and gestures at the harness and cables, I throw my phone to Priscilla and do the campiest catwalk strut I can, waving at all the random Brazilian tourists gathered around. I flash a grin at the camera as I put on the harness and helmet. But as the cables were being attached and the parasail catches a sudden gust of wind, the video shows me being yanked off my feet as the sail blows wildly up in the air and backwards, taking me airborne with it. You can hear me yell, "Ah!" and see three men jump and grab at my legs, at the cables, struggle against the wind to pull me, tilted diagonally, back down. A cable pulls across my neck. With that giant yank and lift up and backwards, my body goes rigid. I lose my breath. A huge shock wave, the kind where you almost have a head-on collision, that kind of cold sweat hits me completely, draining into a full-body cold sweat. What the fuck am I doing here? They pull me back down, and I am panicking with the cable pulling around my neck, feeling my bowels want to release, the nausea rising. In the video, like watching someone's pet dog who doesn't want to go the way their owner is pulling them. Mateus, another paraglider, who apparently is a Brazilian version of a horse whisperer, gets called into action. He's the first Brazilian man I've been physically close to since coming here. He is handsome. I am nauseous. Remember that photo of Brazilian Olympic surfer Gabriel Medina suspended above the waves? Okay. Give him light brown hair, and imagine him holding your trembling, cold, sweat, nauseous hand as he slowly pulls you to the edge of the drop-off into oblivion, as he stares into your eyes while repeatedly murmuring, "No worries." My eyes fill with tears and stubbornness at him, at me, at inevitability, at futility, at losing family members to Trump, at Houston being too hot, too disaster-prone, at the vastness of the world, at leaving the familiar behind and feeling alone, at the overwhelming beauty of everything around me. Well, all I can do is whimper. Some call it a sense of adventure. Junior straps in behind me quickly, pushing me as he yells, "Bye, go." And here we are, me slumped in the harness as we swoop violently up, back, side to side. The descent feels like forever. I drool a trail of saliva during the swoops, terrified as my intestines move, wondering how vomit 1,000 feet up in the air gets in someone's hair, on someone's windshield, down below. To my weak gratification, I do not throw up, but Junior is confused by my embodiment of a wet dish rag. We land. He pulls the harness off me as I crouch on the ground, mimicking vomiting, diarrhea. He gestures to the bushes in front of us. The bushes in front of us are next to a lagoon. A lagoon with crocodile beware signs around it. Because, of course, next level Brazil. A vague survival instinct resurrects itself, and I shake my head, shakily asking, "Banheiro, por favor?" Junior gestures around the field, across the road, where the most welcome sign of a gas station sits. I stagger across, stumbling through the door, a shaky, sweaty gringa mess trying to present a non-threatening, non-crazy smile. The cashier stares at as I mime pointing at the sky, fluttering my hands down, holding my stomach, asking, "Agua, por favor, banheiro." She points at the stall, and I finally feel a real smile start to splash across my face. Nirvana. I can be sick in here, no problem. I can't stop thinking about culture shock, and still have tears at the back of my eyes. I know this is how the body keeps the score. I tell myself it's okay, it's to be expected. I tell myself hard choices suck, and we all have them, and sometimes we create them. And to take better care of myself, and to tell people I love them even if I don't. And that you can't stop time, you can't stop the world from turning, and how good that cold water tastes, and how I should drink all of it. Junior bangs on the bathroom door, yelling, "Uber!" I stagger out, more steadily, and as we clamber into the Uber, he thrusts his iPhone into my face. On the screen, in big Google Translate letters, is the question. "So what did you think? Was it good?" I burst out laughing, shouting in English, "Bro, you were there. You know what I thought." adding "Isso, hey, bom, obrigada," and shake his hand. I was sick the rest of the day. I know it was the psychological part, the culture shock, too. I'm grateful to Priscilla and Raphael and Junior and everyone who listened to me go on and on about it. But goddamn, y'all, I have a few months left to go. Come down, visit me, and I'll take you there. Get your sense of adventure.